Alisa here to show you how I created the storm in Dr. Puppet episode 7, The Foregone Storm. But first, I want to give you some backstory and some context for what the storm means. Episode 7 is a bit of a different episode. It is our version of a recap episode, which is a TV trope where you summarize a television show in the episode, usually right before the finale. I'm a big fan of creative recap episodes. My favorite one is probably the Ember Island Players from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is a really fun and inventive way to recap a story. Everyone should watch Avatar, it's an amazing show. So the idea of episode 7 is that the 11th Doctor is at his lowest point. He has given up hope. He doesn't know who is behind this thing that is happening to him. He doesn't know how to stop it, and he's decided to just let it happen and see it through to the end. But he encounters a storm made of television static that has clips from the previous Dr. Puppet episodes in it, and he must make it through this storm while he is being reminded of his failures to save his past. So that is how we incorporated the clips from the previous Dr. Puppet episodes, and the idea that it was made of television static and had television clips in it worked really well with the 1960s television aesthetic that is in this entire episode of Dr. Puppet. Now, with anything in Dr. Puppet that is not a physical prop or a physical set that we could actually make, we had to turn to Adobe After Effects to create a digital storm. So here we are inside of Adobe After Effects. This is a piece of software that we use for almost every single shot in Dr. Puppet. It is a compositing software, but it's extremely versatile for doing all kinds of animation. We use it to chroma key, we use it to add effects like rain, snow, we use it to add the light beam, we use it to add things like flying birds and butterflies, all kinds of things. Basically, every single shot in Dr. Puppet went through After Effects and had something added to it at some point, especially in episode 7, because it had so many effects on it and it had the selective color and the black and white and all that stuff. All of that was achieved with After Effects. So this is shot 17 from the storm sequence. This was animated by Rachel, and I'm going to open it up and show you what it's made of. So we'll go inside here, and as you can see, there are a lot of layers. Most of these are pieces of the storm, because the storm is a lot of different layers, because it needs to feel like it has depth. There are layers in front of the Doctor, there are layers behind the Doctor, and this was achieved because the stop motion was shot against a green screen. So here are the actual frames from the stop motion, just the raw frames. As you can see here, they all are. Let me zoom in a bit. Whoop, play from the beginning. So this was just shot on the set with a piece of green paper that acted as our green screen. So we use an effect called key light, which is here. When this is applied, it makes the green screen transparent so that we can take that stop motion and we can put effects behind it and in front of it. So the storm itself is, the main piece of it is down here. So you can see it's very wide because some shots have camera moves on them, including this shot. So we need to make the storm extra big so that it's always in the frame. So this is the main background storm. So it's got a lot of static going on. Let's zoom in a bit. You can see there's that television static, but there's some clouds in there. So this also is achieved with a lot of different layers that have all kinds of effects on them. So let me isolate one. We can see what's going on here. So just this layer here has an effect called particular on it, which is a particle simulator. It doesn't come with After Effects. You have to buy this separately, but it's a fantastic plugin that allows you to create all kinds of things. It's a simulator, so you can use it to make clouds, you can use it to make sparkles, you can use it to make fire, explosions, all kinds of fun things like that. And this has applied to it a bunch of noise. So if we take those off, you'll see what it looks like without the noise. So let's zoom in. So there is that kind of amorphous cloud thing in the background. And then we've applied noise. So it feels like television static. And there's a few other layers that have similar things going on. There's a layer that just makes the top of it dark, just so again it feels like there's some depth to it. Alright, let's see what else we have going on. Let me open up one of these foreground things. Let's see, foreground storm mist. So here is another group of similar layers. They have particular on them, they have noise on them. You can see this one, it's a lot fainter, because these are just, it's kind of like a wispy foreground cloud. You can see it's moving a lot faster though, because of course this is closer to the camera, so it's chunkier, it's bigger, it's moving faster because it's close. This is how we created the illusion of depth, is all these different layers that are different sizes moving at different speeds. Oop, keep opening the wrong one, there's just so many tabs. Alright, what else do we have? Dust. So this is, if I can get it to play back. After Effects is not always great at playing stuff back. There we go. You can see this is more particles. I use a different particle simulator called CC Particle World. This one does come with After Effects. It's another versatile particle simulator. So I used this to create these chunky pieces of dust that are moving around close to the camera. So again, this just, it adds depth. It also shows you how fast the wind is blowing, because of course you can't see wind. You have to use something like dust to show the audience that it's windy. Also, of course, the puppet's hair was moving in the wind. And that is how we show that he is inside of a windy storm. Now there's also lightning in this shot. You can see that here. So the trick to create convincing lightning is it's very quick. It can flash on more than once. If you don't want any fork of lightning to be on the screen for more than a single frame. As you can see, that one appears for one frame, it goes away. Oop, okay, I missed it. It's on, yeah, there's here, it comes on, it moves, it's gone again, then it comes back. And that's a nice use of our selective color in this episode, where really the only color is in the flashback clips and the light. So let me find the lightning. It's a layer down here. Here it is. So this lightning is created with an effect called Advanced Lightning. This also comes with After Effects. It just makes really convincing lightning, and you can use all these controls to move it around and stuff. But we also put these adjustment layers on. You can see that's what these things are doing. They're just controlling the light and everything. Probably this one too. I'm not entirely sure what everything else is. You can see that's just making the Doctor very light because the lightning is flashing on him. This one too does the same, I assume. Yeah, that is what is actually adding the yellow color on there. Yeah. Alright, and then the coolest part, of course, is the clip. Ooh. So this is a clip from Dr. Puppet Episode 3, The Doctor in the Garden. I believe this shot was also animated by Rachel, so it's a double Rachel shot here. So these clips had to feel really distorted, like very warped television, because this is just such a horrible warped memory. So this effect was achieved using a lot of different effects. And actually, I had played around with this, and I was really struggling to achieve the look that I wanted. So I did some Googling. See, After Effects really struggles to play some of this stuff back. Here we go. I did some Googling, and I found a website called Rocket Stock that had some free After Effects templates to download, including one for creating television static. So hats off to Rocket Stock, because I used their template to create this. I'll put a link to them in the description because if you're into After Effects, they have some really neat stuff. And since I discovered this television static template, I've actually used it for a few other projects. It's just a lot of fun to play with. And so the way this is set up, if you're an After Effects nerd, they have created all of these sliders that you can control the different things. This is the tuning. Ooh. So I'll just play around with some of these. You can see what they do if After Effects cooperates. So can we see any change there? Here we go. Tuning, which is kind of, yeah, that repetitive look. Oh, that's a lot though. Turbulence, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, look at that. We can really distort his face with that. It's beautiful. And chromatic aberration, which is a lot of fun. That's where the colors separate. That's a really cool effect, right? Isn't that neat? That's like a really very in look right now. Very popular effect. You see it in all kinds of music videos, and you see it everywhere. It looks really cool though. Yeah, so this really awesome template that Rocket Stock puts on the internet for free is what I used to create this look. Woo! Yeah. And there's a few other things thrown in there too, because you can see it fades in as if it's getting closer to the camera. And it also has some different blend modes on it. So if I can open this up. So blend modes are this panel here. These are really great because these allow you to blend different layers in different ways instead of just having one sit on top of another. These tell it to blend in a certain way. So this has uh, color dodge on it. I'll put it on normal and show you what it'll look like if it didn't have color dodge. See, it's just kind of sitting on top of there. It's kind of boring. It doesn't look like it's integrated into the storm. And now let's put it back on color dodge, which is now I can't find it. Wow, color dodge. There you are. And there we go. See, it just kind of sits back in the storm, and the colors, the bright colors, really pop through, and the dark colors kind of blend more with the noise. Um, and that just looks pretty cool. Yeah. So, and there's a couple other cool things happening here. But you put it all together, and that is the recipe for creating a television static storm in Dr. Puppet episode 7. All thanks to a lovely little program called After Effects. It really is a versatile program. I'm a huge fan of After Effects. It's actually what I do for my day job. Most of the time I am an After Effects animator. Been doing that for a long time now, and I love it. So if you have any questions about After Effects, I love talking about it, and I am more than happy to answer your After Effects questions. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about what the meaning of the storm in the Foregone Storm is, and how we made it using After Effects. Bye!